All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down 9 absolutely wild days in August 2025, a week that didn't just make a few headlines. No, it completely rewrote the rules of tech, money, and power as we know them. So, to really get what happened here, we're not going to start with the tech itself. We're going to start with a question about people, about talent. I mean, think about it. In this brand new economy, just how much is one single brilliant mind actually worth? The answer might shock you. $250 million. Let that sink in. That's reportedly what Meta offered one researcher. And get this, that was after their first offer of $125 million was rejected. This isn't just a crazy salary, you guys. This is a weapon. It's a strategic move in an all-out talent war. You see, this goes way beyond just crazy paychecks. It's about a fundamental tectonic shift in our economy. And the whole thing just exploded into high gear thanks to a single product launch that basically fired the starting pistol for this whole crazy race. And here it is, August 7th. OpenAI drops GPT-5. And look, this was not just another update. This was them throwing down the gauntlet. It was a full-on declaration of war. And it was a move so massive, so powerful, that it forced the entire tech industry to respond, like within hours.
Just look at these numbers. They really show you what a huge leap this was. We're talking near-perfect scores on PhD-level math and science problems. And it totally crushed something called SWE-bench, which, by the way, is this brutal test where you ask an AI to go find and fix real-world, messy software bugs. I mean, this just set a completely new, ridiculously high bar for what an AI could even do.
But then, something totally unexpected happened. You'd think OpenAI was unstoppable, right? Nope. Within 48 hours, there was this massive user revolt because they got rid of the older GPT-4o, and OpenAI had to backtrack. They actually had to listen to their users and bring the old model back. It just goes to show even a company supposedly worth $300 billion can be forced to change course by its own community almost instantly. Okay, so OpenAI made its big move, and what happened next? An immediate, and I mean immediate, wave of counterattacks from every single one of their rivals. The battlefield was officially set, and believe me, everyone showed up ready for a fight. So Anthropic's response was, well, it was surgical. They were smart. They didn't even try to beat GPT-5 on every single benchmark. Instead, they attacked a weak point, scale. They dropped Claude's Sonnet 4 with a 1M-Token context window. To put that in perspective, that's like being able to feed it an entire epic novel, like 750,000 words, and have it remember every single detail. So you can really see the different strategies here. GPT-5 was built to be this all-around beast, good at everything. But Anthropic, they immediately zeroed in on a specific weakness. By more than doubling that context window, they were basically shouting out to big companies, hey, you guys with the massive legal documents and giant reports, we're the AI for you. And they didn't stop at just features. This is where it gets really clever. Anthropic made this incredibly bold, strategic move. They offered Claude to all 3 branches of the US government for $1. $1 per agency. Their goal was simple and brilliant. Become the default, the go-to, the embedded AI for the most powerful institutions in the country. So if Anthropic was a surgeon, Elon Musk's XAI was, well, cure chaos, total disruption. What did they do? They made their model, Grok 4, completely free for everyone in the world. And then they launched a controversial, not safe for work image generator. They were basically going after the market that everyone else was too scared to touch. And what about Google? Well, they played the privacy card. They launched a feature in Gemini called temporary chat, where nothing you type is saved or used for training. So suddenly you see these battle lines being drawn, right? OpenAI is all about raw performance. Anthropic is about scale for enterprise. XAI is just pure disruption. And Google, they're making their big stand on privacy. Now, this war between the giants, it wasn't just about their products. It kicked off an absolute firestorm of investment. And this is what's really reshaping the entire global economy, creating insane amounts of value at a speed we have literally never seen in human history. And in the middle of all this frenzy, the number of AI unicorns, startups worth over $1 billion, it just exploded. 498 of them. To give you some context, that's more billion-dollar companies than the entire dot-com boom managed to create over several years. This happened in months. And if you add up the value of all these new startups, you get a number that's just staggering. $2.7 trillion. We're literally watching an entirely new economic sector being born right before our eyes, seemingly overnight. And if you want the wildest example, look at this. One startup, called Safe Superintelligence, hit a $32 billion valuation with only 20 employees and no public product. I mean, come on. That tells you everything you need to know about the kind of pure speculative energy that's driving this entire market.
Of course, a supernova like this has aftershocks, and they're being felt absolutely everywhere, way beyond just Silicon Valley. We're talking corporate boardrooms, government halls, all the way down to the job market that affects you and me.
This insane talent war has led to some really aggressive, almost sneaky tactics. You've got to hear about this one, the reverse acqui-hire. It's basically corporate espionage disguised as a job offer. The big guys can't buy a startup because of antitrust laws? Fine. They just hire away all their key people, gutting the company from the inside out and neutralizing them as a competitor. It's brutal.
And at this point, you have to realize this isn't just a tech race anymore. This is a full-blown geopolitical arms race for global dominance. You've got the US Pentagon launching military AI challenges. You've got the EU hitting companies with massive fines. And of course, you have China aggressively trying to corner the hardware and chip market. It's a global contest.
So while all the insiders in Silicon Valley are popping champagne and celebrating this boom, the general public, they're getting nervous, really nervous. You've got nearly 3/4 of Americans saying they're concerned about where all this is going. That's a huge disconnect between the industry and Main Street. And that concern isn't just some vague feeling either. It's fueled by very real-world impacts. This isn't theoretical stuff anymore. AI was specifically named as the reason for over 10,000 job cuts in July alone. That's where this boardroom frenzy directly hits home and creates real anxiety for people. And here's the real kicker. At the exact same time we're building the most powerful technology in human history, the safety researchers are discovering just how many ways it can all go wrong. They just found 139 new ways to make these models misbehave. It perfectly highlights the central problem here. The race to make AI more powerful is moving way, way faster than the race to make it safe. So what's the big takeaway from all this? What should you remember? This was not just another week of tech news. When a single person's salary can be $250 million, when a company with no product is worth $32 billion, you have to understand the fundamental rules of capitalism have changed. This is a completely different game now. And that really gets to the heart of it. It's not about asking if this insane pace can last. I think we're past that. The real question is whether anything at all, will ever be the same again. Because from where I'm sitting, the revolution didn't just show up. It kicked the door off its hinges and remade the world.